I've just put together a relatively short series of slides with headings which I think summarize the ethos of what ICMCI is about. A global vision sharpened. When the board met in Vienna for our strategy meeting last year, there's no doubt that there was a really energetic atmosphere determined to move our strategy statement and our mission statement and the aspirations that surround it into actual initiatives and actions to make things going. And we were successful in putting quite a lot together, which in effect was a reimagining of what we're about in terms of where we're going and how we're going to get there. So what we have now got is much more of a living framework around which we can move on. So all of our 13 aspirations have initiatives behind them to be followed up, monitored, and actioned. So very much shaping the future of ICMCI and living up to what we are all about in ICMCI, which is to develop ourselves into a globally recognized, impactful, sustainable force that not only represents consultants, but empowers them to lead societal change. Because we're not just in it for ourselves, we're in it for the future of the world. So, a global vision sharpened. Partnerships with purpose. One of our main aims is obviously the recognition of ICMCI among stakeholders in the management consulting profession and others who are interested in what we have to do. Our aim is to expand our reach and our impact, to position ourselves as credible and proactive in partnerships for global development. Our main initiative that's taking place at the moment, which you've already heard plenty about, is that with UNIDO, where, as Chelal said, he has done a great job in taking these candidates through a training process, and we're now ready for our Global Institute to carry out the assessment and certification process for a new award, a new recognition specifically for the UNIDO business advisors. It's the UNIDO ICMCI Certificate of Enterprise Management Consultancy. When this pilot project is finished by the end of this year, we will be working with UNIDO, according to what they're telling us, to expand the program into all their other sub-Saharan African countries of operation. It has the possibility of being a massive program of work. Also, we're still in discussion with EBRD about arrangements, similar type of arrangements with them. But the exciting things that have happened within the European Union, which may not be of particular interest to all our friends around the world, but it is an important step forward, that we really have reached a stage where we are able to talk proactively with the EU and to get into their policy-making processes so that we can influence them to take more notice of our profession and ICMCI as the voice of advocacy. We're looking at a new partnership structure, again, which Robert showed you yesterday. This is very much what we want to do internally to build our local community in partnerships. You heard from Simon just now, we have this MOU with the publisher. This is the way that our academic fellows can begin to make their impact in the world. All of these partnerships, all of these agreements, they're not just agreements, but they are bridges taking ICMCI into the world, connecting our community to the wider world, reinforcing our relevance. Governance with heart. ICMCI is governed by its delegates, which then empowers the board to put into action the policies, the resolutions, the actions which the delegates have agreed. That is our constitution. It is you who guide us. It's you who guide the future of ICMCI. The board is there to do what you tell us you want us to do. Okay, we do give you some guidance from time to time, but they're your decisions. And so our annual meeting of delegates is a very important time of the year for making sure that we stay on track and move properly ahead for the future. At our annual meeting last year, we reached a stage where we knew that serious things had to be done within our community about addressing the issues that are faced by so many of our member institutes. And this is what gave rise to the new structure, the Charter of Collaboration, and a lot of other actions which have been going on during the year. So building the community, but at the same time making sure that our standards are upheld. And I want to tell you a story. No names, no pack drill, because that's not the way we are. And this is illustrating the power of our management systems within ICMCI. We discovered through an IQA triennial assessment, one of our member institutes was quite seriously deficient in their management of the CMC assessment and certification program. That's extremely damaging to our principles of equivalence and reciprocity. And what IQA found reinforced something that had been brought to our attention by one of our other institutes. This is how serious the reciprocity issue was in this. What did we do about it? We did slightly slap them over the wrist, of course we did, but we didn't take an action that says, you're not behaving, you're out. IQA provided them with a report with two very serious recommendations for immediate action. They're called R1 recommendations. The first of which was that they should undergo a complete retraining program on the CMC assessment recertification program. And secondly, that they should recertify all of the management consultants they had awarded CMC to in the past. The Institute accepted the report, accepted the recommendations. The training was carried out by a member from another one of our institutes, expert in the process. That's been continued. That institute now has been fully retrained and is in the process of recertifying its CMC consultants. That, to me, talks about governance with heart. Yeah? We found a problem, we found a way to put it right, we took action. And we've kept that institute within our community, but more importantly, they are now back in line with our standards and our codes. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because that's the sort of thing that is now going on in our community. Risk management I want to spend a couple of minutes on because it's very important. We're at a stage in ICMCI where we need to be innovative in what we do. We need to step out from the norm. We need to take risks. Our risk management system allows us to take those risks in a measured and controlled fashion, knowing exactly what needs to be done to make sure we don't damage our reputation, damage our finances, damage our internal community. So our risk management system is vital for the future of ICMCI because we are going to have to really take some innovative steps over the next couple of years for sure to get to where we need to be. So risk management, it's coming to you soon. I think as you heard from Gegana's contribution yesterday, we've introduced it at board level, it's into committee level, and now the next stage is into member institute level as well. So, next slide, and I'm going to hurry because we're missing the coffee break at the moment. A spirit of community, fostering alignment in line with our governance, addressing the issues facing our member institutes, developing a new network structure. This is what we're doing. Recognize the problems that our member institutes have in many areas and doing something actively about it. Enhancing the transparency between IMC and member institutes. The Charter of Collaboration it's not a document that sets a list of rules, you will do this, you will do that. It sets out the transparency of the relationship between the centre of ICMCI and its member institutes. So each of us knows where we stand, what our responsibilities are, and what our expectations are of each other. We've had some good engagements during the year, and you've heard all about them already. EuroHub and Asia Pacific Hub. They were super meetings, really very positive. So, Sue, with her community of practice days that I've attended, excellent sharing of experience, and the member shared experience day that Norma told you about as well. We really are beginning to get our act together with community building. Competence and credibility. You know, the consultant is at the heart of our work around the world, CMC. And this is what IQA is in place to do. You heard Sue tell you of the successes they've had this year. Actually, really achieving a zero non-conformance report from an independent ISO 17011 assessor is a major achievement. And hopefully now we can align ourselves closer with the International Accreditation Forum to gain full recognition as an independent accreditation body. So all good stuff there. And this is what makes sure that we maintain the credibility of our CMC award. Of course, times change. Our competence framework is now more than 5 years old, I think, and it needs updating. New technology, new world culture, new demands on consultants, and PDSC are now working hard. You will have received, each of you member institutes, a questionnaire from PDSC that says, what do you want us to do in the new competence framework? How many of you have replied so far? Okay. How many of you will be replying in the next few days and weeks? Thank you very much. I've noted who put their hands up. This is very important work for us. Our standards are the global world standards for management consultants. If we don't keep them up to date, if we don't enforce them, we're nothing. And it's everybody's job to be part of that. Looking ahead, it struck me during the course of this year that what set out all those years ago, just as a convener of some member institutes, has now transformed into something much, much bigger. We're now a global institution. Yes, we're already having influence, and we're already showing the integrity and impact that we are. But we can no longer be reactive to things that are going on. We must be proactive from now on. We need to be, and I've said this earlier in the conference, we need to practice intelligent agility. We need to gain knowledge. We need to transform that into action. We need to be able to move quickly to get things done. And there are some things that we do need to get moving very quickly to keep our momentum going. Setting standards, shaping the narratives, building our profession. Going forward, there will be pains. Change is painful. Nobody likes it, no matter what you say, but we have to be open and transparent in what we're doing. And that transparency is both ways. It's not just the board and committees explaining what they're doing and why they're doing it and why they're asking. It's also you, the delegates, coming back and being open in asking questions, in raising issues, in raising concerns as well. We need this two-way conversation. But we do need commitment to action from everybody. And I want to repeat the message that's been given out once or twice during the conference and during our meeting here. It is the ICMCI delegates, the member institutes, that are the core of what we do. Without member institutes being proactive, without Constantinus Award ambassadors doing their job, without delegates talking to us, feeding back to us, motivating their IMCs to get things done, we will not make the progress we want to make. The board can't do it on its own. We need everybody, every member institute being active. You've seen what needs to be done, so no excuses. We need the commitment. That's the end of my preaching. Okay, so here you go. Carry the momentum of this meeting forward. Make sure things happen. Make sure that the world realizes, and particularly the parts of the world that pay consultants to work for them, make sure they recognize ICM's position, the voice of the consulting profession, competent, ethical, indispensable to the future. Thank you.